WINS, WINS-FM and HD1 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
More people get their news from 1010 Wins and from any other radio station in the nation. John Davis, Service Aide, Tanya Mercado, Editor's Desk. I'm Mario Bosquez.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM, New York.
69 degrees and clear at 8 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Lean Bajardi, and here's what's happening. Knicks fans with tickets to tonight's Game 3 standing on long lines for added security as the president heads for the Garden tonight. Watch parties underway throughout the area, from Bryant Park in Midtown to Heckscher Park on Long Island. Fans pouring money into fresh new Knicks merch. 41-year-old man shot dead on a BX-36 bus in Parkchester this afternoon as another round of military strikes threatened to plunge the Middle East back into full-scale war. Things may be quieting down again between Israel and Iran. A major Central Park watch party announced for the World Cup final in the Meadowlands. Sports, in addition to the Knicks, the Yankees are in Cleveland. AccuWeather says mostly clear and comfortable tonight. Low 61 in the city. 50s in the suburbs. Sunshine, patchy clouds tomorrow. High 82. Wins News Time, 8:01. Let's get you where you need to go with Kelly Dillon.
We have a mess right now in Queens on the eastbound belt into Crossway Boulevard. A crash here takes out at least one lane, and traffic's at a standstill almost back to Flatbush Ave. So avoid that section through Brooklyn and Queens tonight. Now, also in Queens, the eastbound Grand Central at LaGuardia. We have a crash with fire department activity on the scene. The right lane down, still a slow ride through that area. The BQE in Brooklyn, bumper to bumper each way heading into Atlantic Ave still tonight. Very busy there. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big 3. The westbound Southern State, slow exit 20 in Hempstead. Still delays lingering. Luckily, the LIE and the Northern State, not too bad. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels heading towards the outbound George. About a 15-minute backup, and then luckily inbound, it is quiet. Not bad either way at the Lincoln or Holland. The inbound Brooklyn Bridge, a bit crowded. Outbound, though, it's looking all right. Both the Whitestone and Throgs Neck bridges quiet tonight, and then no trouble along the RFK. Kelly Dillon, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
Game 3 of the NBA Finals tonight at the Garden. The Knicks have a chance to go 3 up on the Spurs. Head coach Mike Brown before the game as they go for a 14th win in a row.
With this group being a veteran group and being as composed as they are, you know that they're going to be present. And that's the biggest thing. Whether you're on a winning streak or a losing streak, you have to be present. It's about the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. And our guys have really embraced that, which has helped me be at ease a little bit more as a head coach.
All right, a bit of mayhem outside of the Garden. They have all sorts of frozen zones. People trying to figure out how they get in. Going around and around, block for block. A lot of people are in already, but tip-off is not that far away. There's also issues in the air. If you see fighter jets over the skies within 10 miles of the Garden, don't be alarmed. That's connected to NORAD's watch over President Trump's visits to the game. NORAD Public Affairs Officer Captain Christopher Dubé says the airspace is shut down to the kinds of small planes and copters we're used to seeing all the time, and pilots must obey the restricted zone.
The consequence to pilots is revocation of their license, potentially, fines, potentially. So there can be quite serious consequences for the pilots involved.
But again, he doesn't want people to be alarmed by the military flights they see. That right now, as it stands, there's no threat other than the regular flights, ignoring the restricted zone and facing the consequences. So President Trump in attendance tonight. So, too, is Mayor Mamdani. Trump expected to be placed front and center by Knicks owner James Dolan, but will likely be in a box and not courtside, is what we're being told now. Maybe much harder to find the mayor in the crowd.
I bought my tickets for nearly $1,000 from Madison Square Garden. I'll be going to tonight's Game 3. And I'll be standing for the duration of the game.
With so many very rich people looking to be seen at this game, regardless of their true level of Knicks fandom, some Knicks season ticket holders are cashing in big, reselling their seats.
Not all Knicks season ticket holders will be going to Madison Square Garden to cheer on the Knicks courtside. For some fans, like John Cooper, they're putting their tickets up for sale.
The financial gain is too enticing to turn away.
And for Cooper, he's taking his profits and spending it well.
Closer to 25 So mostly help my daughter out. She has some bills, provide to some charities. Of course, I'm going to spoil myself a little bit. Purchase some Yankee tickets down in the Legends.
And now he's left with a very tough choice. Does he go to the next Knicks home game or sell those tickets too? He says it'll be a day of game time decision. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Other fans say there's no way they can pay for Knicks tickets at these prices, but they can afford some new merch, proudly proclaiming for them it is New York or nowhere.
Juan made the over hour-long drive from Long Island to pick up Knicks merch at New York or Nowhere on Lafayette Street.
Hats, I got some socks, stickers, and obviously the two Knicks shirts.
The shirts he's talking about say the finals or nowhere, always Knicks, the sixth borough, and more. Not to mention a lot of other merch like Knicks puzzles and keychains fans are waiting over an hour in line for, like Jimmy.
Last time they made it this far, I was 9 years old. My son has just turned 9 years old, so, it's special for us, so it's incredible. It's incredible to be from New York.
Seeing it all through his son's eyes now, 27 years later. Christy Kalishian, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in Nolita.
Deadly shooting on a New York City bus this afternoon. Police say a man shot on a BX-36 in Parkchester around 2:30. Happened on East Fremont Avenue and White Plains Road. What led up to it unclear, but the suspect fled, as suspects tend to do. Police say a 41-year-old man was shot in the stomach and rushed to Jacoby Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Groundbreaking today for the major construction stage of Phase 2 of the 2nd Avenue Subway project. Governor Hochul says lessons learned from Phase 1 are projected to cut the project cost by $1 billion. The Q train to be extended from 96th Street to 125th in East Harlem.
We're going to give people time back in their lives. They can get their jobs faster, get to school faster, get to see family faster. And the 2nd Avenue Subway will give it more time back to over 100,000 people who will take advantage of the 3 new subway stations.
It'll still take a while. The massive tunnel boring machine won't be lowered into the ground until sometime next year. The Trump administration is again threatening a massive surge of federal immigration agents into New York. Trump borders czar Tom Homan, appearing on Fox News, said he was warned Governor Hochul a surge would follow her signing a bill curbing DHS operations and barring ICE from wearing masks.
You're going to see more ICE agents you ever seen in New York City, and it's coming. I just reviewed an operational plan. I'm not going to tell you exactly when it's going to happen, but it's coming.
Mayor Mamdani reacting to Homan's latest threats.
We have heard time and again threats of increases in immigration enforcement across our city. I want to be very clear about the fact that I believe that ICE raids are cruel, they are inhumane, they do nothing to serve in the interests of public safety.
Homan's threats come after ICE and Border Patrol agents surged into the Twin Cities, leading to many arrests, detentions, and releases of people caught up in raids who were legally in the U.S. Outrage following the deaths of 2 people protesting the raids led to a pullback in force. Governor Mikey Sherrill says she was finally allowed into Delaney Hall, ICE detention center in Newark, but was given limited access to detainees. She calls that unacceptable. New Jersey's governor has been trying to get into the privately run facility for weeks. Says she was not allowed to meet or speak with immigrants or to check on their conditions. Relatives of those inside have said Delaney Hall is filthy and that their loved ones are living in inhumane conditions. Department of Homeland Security has said that's not true and that detainees receive medical care and free meals. Things quieting down again between Israel and Iran as another round of military strikes against threaten to plunge the Middle East back into full-scale war.
They were the first attacks since the U.S. struck a ceasefire deal with Iran 2 months ago. After President Trump wrote on social media, the shooting must stop. Iran's state-run TV announced the military was halting offensive operations in Tel Aviv. Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu implied this round of fighting is over, while warning his forces would retaliate against more attacks. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
69 degrees, mostly sunny. We're going down to 61 in Midtown. Fans of Mr. Show with Bob and David. There's a new documentary to tell you about, and we will. But first, Wins News Time 8:11. Let's get you where you need to go with Kelly Dillon.
Got a mess on the belt. Eastbound in Queens, approaching Crossbay Boulevard. An accident here, knocking out at least 1 lane. Traffic almost back to Flatbush Ave, and there's westbound rubbernecking into the area as well right now. The Grand Central in Queens, eastbound by LaGuardia. An accident here, wrapping up from the right lane. Still minor slowdowns into that area. Picking up on the southbound FDR into the Williamsburg, getting word of a crash, now closing a lane.